football.
Boom, boom, bam.
Oh, yeah. Stan's in the house.
Love it, JG.
JG's in the house. What's happening? Oh, I lost my glasses, Stan. Well, I didn't lose them too far. I kind of misplaced them. You know, it's one of those senior moments.
What's that? Uh-huh.
You
I
know,
lost my hearing aids.
Old, you just misplace stuff sometimes.
Misplaced? Oh, she's in.
What?
I think she's in chat.
What?
That misplaced. Oh, that's something different. Never mind. You know,
I
I
was
can't find
like,
my hearing aids.
man. So I'm like
My
running
hearing
around.
aids must be with my glasses.
Yeah, I can't find my glasses, Mom.
Well,
So I
please
had
start.
these old glasses, and I like these frames better, but I can't see nothing. So if I read something in chat, you guys, I get a hall pass. That's what. It's Stan, man. How's your week been? You been good?
That you know, well, I better have been, because guess what today is, JG?
I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Well, today, I can't believe the same woman has put up with me for 34 years of marriage. You know, that doesn't include the time before that. So,
Wow.
thank you. 34-year wedding anniversary today. That's right.
And you're doing an online show.
Hey, the show is important. Not, you know, my wife's important too, but but in my defense, I did make a steak dinner with some potatoes, with some mac and cheese, a whole 9 yards.
Wow,
So
mac and cheese, man. That's good stuff.
We did
Man, there's a lot of really cool people in chat in here, dude.
38 awesome people. You know what? Mullet Man 7 was first, and you know,
What?
anybody that puts 22 in the chat is their response. You know, I got a special place in my heart for that. So
there you go.
we got Mullet Man, Chad Thomason. There's Hilly Billy Hondo. How's it going? Rebel River Cats. What's up, Doug? Rigging for Fatties. Good to see you. Greg Burgess. Greg B from Louisiana. 922. There he is saying hello to everybody. I thought he was trying to say something in code there, but it was just everybody's names.
It was in code.
There's Fishing for Whiskers. Rhonda's out there. And by the way, that right there, that is the Cat and CatCon. What the what?
What the what? Wait a minute, I got a button for that.
What the what?
That was Rhonda's version of shorting it so it would fit.
That's right. Because that's a pretty big link right there. But that is the Catfish and Crappie Conference. For your tickets, use code 2Stans. If you have any questions, that link right there takes you to Catfish Conference 2024 to list out the different vendors. Maybe we'll get into that tonight. Maybe we'll put the map up there if we got a time to get to that. Because there's a big one, probably the biggest one yet. I think they had to move the YouTube area off over by the
Toilets.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, pretty much it is diagonal from.
Yeah, we gotta get over there. We gotta move them YouTubers over there by the bathrooms.
Yeah, but we're actually, it works out great because we are by the seminar area. So before we were away from that, so you had to go back and forth, and you didn't hear them calling it. Now we're right there. You'll be able to see all the seminars, and on top of that, you'll be able to see the Catfish Cook-Off, which is hosted by yours truly. And
bringing the man.
From what I hear, Jody is going to be entering that based on her show last week. I tell you what, JG, I would have ate those catfish.
Oh, absolutely.
They look delicious. So big shout out to Jody.
Yeah, good job, Jody. We're proud of you.
51 awesome people out there. Crappy CatCon. You know, I knew that was going to take off.
How are you going to get through all these chats?
Well, we'll do real quick. There's Uncle Jeep, Mike Young. How's it going? 922 River Cats Tackle. Lance McCool, guys in the house. Uncle Jeep.
It's Friday, baby.
You know, in a second here, I'm going to have to check and see why Nightbot isn't going on here. Something's up with that.
Oh, Lord.
We've been having a bunch of Nightbot responses already.
You didn't get a check.
Yeah, you know, I got to send a check. These people, I tell you what, these robots, these AIs, man, They're worse than humans. You got to pay them every single week, or those robots get fish.
They will cut your power off if you don't pay it up on.
Shirley T's out there. Hilly Billy, how's it going? Dave G, good morning. I'm so used to doing STANday. Good evening, weekend.
Good evening.
That's who I got to talk to because he does a great job with the bots, with Nightbot. He already sent a message.
Josh, yeah.
He said to let him know, and
so I got to maybe get first rodeo.
I got to get in touch with him next week, and boom, bam, we're live. Palmetto Cats, remember, for 10 months.
Oh, Lordy, you know what that means? It's time for a stand jig. Hey. All right. Thank you, Kevin. You got a stand jig.
Thank you. I heard there's a way that we can give out some free memberships every month, so I've got to check in how to do that. Epic Catfish said, "Wow, I received a behavior warning before entering the chat." Oh, you're good. You've got the grandfather clause, Epic. You are grandfathered in. There's our good friend Facizzle.
That was just for Epic, yeah.
There's our good friend Fish Shizzle. Hey, there's Nightbot.
Yeah. Got to appreciate Fish Shizzle. Fish Shizzle, that Fish Shizzle guy.
That Fish Shizzle guy.
Yeah.
I tried to give him that Fish Shizzle guy. Apparently, I'm not good at playing the heel because apparently I'm good at playing the heel because people believe that I'm really mad when I'm just trying to have some fun. But there we go. Now they're catching up. There it is. Nightbot said, "I hope 922 is not mad at me because Nightbot was pretty mean to him last week." He was. Nightbot was mean last week. Thank you. Happy anniversaries. There's Mullet Man again. Trophy Seekers Outdoors. Speaking of playing the heel, of course he really is a heel. He's a bad dude.
Wait, I'm a heel.
There's Cool Cats Fishing. How's it going?
Cool Cats in the house. Hey James, how are you, sir?
Creole Catfishing. It's Friday night, baby.
Creole Friday, baby. Man, we are way behind in chat. You're pulling the dust.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know what? There's I'm still catching.
It's at the Gandhi Outdoors. No, I'm just kidding.
We might put that up for the blooper award for next year.
Yeah.
What did I call it? How'd you say that? Gandhi and I.
Yeah, I know. Gandhi, I know.
Dog and I.
Yeah, now that I looked at Stan, I said maybe I'll just go with Dog and I.
I'm thinking he's like an Indian prophet or something.
Yeah. You know, that's one of them high-tech high-tech jobs right up there with Indian guru, medical doctor, lawyer.
Oh man, Rhonda, if you want to drop the link, feel free. We don't have. Hey, Sampy's out there. How's it going? We're trying to get, and by we, I mean I'm trying to get caught up on these names here. There it is.
I'm just along for the ride.
Back on track. JG Hill rocks. Fishing with Jeff Beals out there. Bought a new rod.
Mr. Beals.
Shirley T, great to see you. Frank Lampert, how's it going? So we are just going to talk about just what's going on for the week.
Yeah, for that. So I've been working like crazy amount of hours. So this cold weather came in, and I have worked a stupid amount of hours, and so I was kind of out. I wasn't even at home for lots. So I went back, watched a couple of shows, and tried to get through them. Looked like y'all had a good week and some shows. Catfish Weekly, and Muskrat and Creole had a show that looks like it had what was his Mark. I don't want to say his name.
Blava.
I don't want to say his name wrong, but
I say it wrong every time.
That was really cool, like that. So you want to be a tournament angler. So I didn't get to watch the whole show, but that was cool. And then I got to check out Dustin last night. Watched his show some. So I'm not totally living under a rock, but close. But I'm out. I'm free. I'm free, man, free.
Hey, while you were doing that, I'm trying to catch up the easiest way that I can by just highlighting everybody's comment in there. So
That's what you do.
that's
Yeah,
like saying hello to everybody.
I see you coming down here. But you know, everybody said hello to me and Stan. Hello, hi guys, I appreciate you.
Look at there. There's a new one. There's a new one. Palmetto, 2Stans fishing family member.
That is hilarious.
Looks like everyone's favorite principal is here. And somebody else must have said hello to Palmetto because you know what, JG? It's always sunny on
Palmetto Island.
There you go. There you go.
There's alligators out there, man.
Oh, man, I'm having too much fun tonight already.
It's all right. We're here to entertain and have fun. I hope everybody's having a good week. You know what? It didn't rain on me today, and it was warm. I was so thankful for that. It was like, oh, Lord, thank you. You didn't have to have on. I didn't have to have on 4 or 5 layers of clothes and a rain suit and all this other mess. I'm like, wow. So it was pretty cool. Still have to deal with a lot of not so intelligent people, but other than that, we move right along.
And you know, people still giving Daryl the crap about the 0.1. Woo.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Hey, you know what? That's that fish sizzle for you.
That's probably that fish sizzle guy.
Fish sizzle guy. He whooped me by 0.8 of a pound. I lost the tournament over 0.8 of a pound, so he's on a roll this year, or was this past live fishing league tournament.
That's right.
But I'm trying. I mean, I got to be happy for him, man. I mean, that's awesome. And you know, got the one more tournament coming up, the Whisker Bowl. I think it was February the 10th.
You know what? There's speaking of Whisker Bowl, there's Palmetto right there. And you know, who could have thought in the beginning that doing the live tournament league that there'd be 4 people, there'd still be 4 people in the top that it's still anybody's game. The entire year comes down to the Whisker Bowl.
Yeah, it sure do.
Epic Catfish got a new phone.
Awesome, dude.
There's our good friend DC Miller.
I have not seen Epic in chats until tonight. I wanted to reach out to him and tell him I hope that you're hand sealing up. Hope that's going well for you, brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think he was a little disappointed that they were actually able to save it. I think he was actually looking forward to use it for catfish bait. But
oh, really?
Yeah, but apparently it's going okay. But the link is there if anybody wants to come up. Epic, if you want to come up and just give us an update on how you're doing. Anybody wants to come up and talk about beating somebody or losing by 0.1. If anybody wants to come up and talk about CatCon. Or if anybody wants to talk about the live tournament league.
You know what else is happening?
What else?
Tomorrow. It's
that's right.
Ice Bowl.
That's right.
And I think our brother Chad and our brother Freddie are going to fish in that thing.
That's right. That's right.
And I have not checked the weather. I hope it's going to be pretty good for them. And I know there's like stupid amount of boats. Like 200 some boats?
About 200 or so, yeah.
Well, I haven't dove into the rules. I haven't dove into all the goodies about it. So I apologize for not knowing that. I really wanted to study it a little bit, but I didn't. But good luck to those guys tomorrow. I really hope they do well. And we're pulling for our brother Chad and Freddie. And there may be some of our other brothers in there too that I don't know that's fishing it.
Well, boom, boom, bam. Look at there. You say Chad is like Beetlejuice. You say Chad 3 times, and he appears in chat with the eyes. There he is.
Oh, Lordy.
See, with me, it's only 2 times. You only got to say, something with the 2 times, and I'm there. Chad
Kelly,
needs,
good to see you, Kelly.
Man, Chad is flying. 64 awesome people.
Yeah, that's so nice. We really appreciate y'all coming in and hanging out with me and old man Stan. Old man Stan over there. He's over there.
Speaking of old school, there's Austin Fishing Fever with Go Amish Go.
Yeah, did you see that boy's beard this week? I think he's gotten a perm.
I think so. I think so. You know, that's all he can perm because there's nothing there.
I know.
And here I am. I've got so much hair. I've got to hold it back. But
yeah.
Angel,
did you highlight this? What the what?
What the what?
Brady, you watching this?
Man, oh man, that's something else.
That Chad, he's a smack talker, isn't he?
He certainly is. You know, next thing you know, he's gonna go pissing off people like Dieter and people
surely
like that.
Not. Why would he do that?
I don't know, but you know how he is.
Is Bobcat saying, wow, 218 in here? Is that how many boats are in this tournament?
That's right, 218 boats.
That's crazy. How do you launch that many boats? How are you going to get them all in the parking lot?
Yeah. That's
what we need is a helicopter, boy.
I've only done the local tournaments here, and there's 20 to 30, and that's even a little.
Hey Stan, there's going to be some jackleg catfisherman someday show up with a helicopter. Now this is something Danny Stone would probably pull out. So he show up with a helicopter. Them big water baskets, like when they go put out fires. They go to take a big dip out of the river and then fly off and then count how many catfish they got. We'll call that the stone copter.
Well, it was little, but it's not out of the woods yet. There you go. There, the stone copter. Yeah, maybe Epic will come up. Who knows? It's Friday night. Anything can happen on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Fishing Fever says tomorrow should be a good fishing day for sure. That's right. If you've got the chance to go out fishing this weekend,
go.
We had that horrible cold front across pretty much the country. The pressure was wrong. I mean, every negative fishing factor was out there for the past, I don't know, week or more. Probably 2 weeks, because Chad scheduled the Winter Blues. And you know what happens to Chad? If he could schedule the Winter Blues in August, and it would be record low temperatures.
Yeah, that's the word on the street. Yeah.
Yeah. 22
and he said this week, this is not the coldest Winter Blues tournament either that he's had.
No,
in the last 4 years he's been doing it, he said that one was not the coldest.
No, I think the first one was by far because during the first one, Parker and Rob, the guy that fished with him, I can't remember his YouTube channel name, but the guy's name was Rob. He actually got frostbite out there at Baldwin Lake, and we had the record ice storm here in Virginia. I ended up with a broken rib during that one.
And you were out there fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, I went out on the way fishing. I broke it, but you kept going. So that's what you do. Fried the phone. It was just, that was probably
Don't try this at home, kids.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, this is a closed course with professional drivers.
That's I don't know about professional, but
oh, come on now. Everybody I see on YouTube now, they got them pro staff shirts on pro.
Hey, I might resemble that remark. Who puts on the ice bowl? I don't know, but it's right here in Virginia, down at Kerr Lake.
Yeah, it's right down the road. Epic would know, maybe who.
Well, Chad will probably know. Chad will probably put that in chat since he had to probably
I don't know.
Pay that entry fee to somebody. There's
it's not like stupid money. It's what, $100?
$100. That's what our local tournament charges here. So downtown Ernie Brown's out there. And there it is. There's the link to join the channel again. Weekend Angler. Hey, if you haven't checked out Josh's channel, The Weekend Angler, awesome channel. He's been doing it for a while. A lot of great tips and, aside from just fishing, a lot of great tips on how to do a lot of different things, not only to your boat, but just a whole bunch of great. Does the quick tip Saturdays or short tip. Well, it's a great channel. I love the tip videos that he does.
And that's whose channel?
Weekend Angler.
Oh yeah, Josh is awesome.
Weekend Angler, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, he's up for Whisker Award on one of his videos too.
Absolutely.
I think the camera shot in the mailbox got him, Josh.
That was a good one. That was really good. There's Fish Head videos. What's up, Ray? He's been doing his showing up on on STANday. Great to see you. And that's right, 222 boats. Thank you, Jeep. Thank you. Jeep's out there. He's got it straight.
The Jeep will keep you straight, even when straight's not possible.
Fish and Fever says he's an equal generation supporter. All right. Well, you know what? I've been trying to get caught up long enough. Here we go. I'm just going to go right to the... If I missed you, I'm sorry.
Send him an email. Send him an email. It's 2stansfishing@gmail.com.
There you go. That's all.
He'll email you back. Might be 2 weeks, but he'll email you.
I'm actually probably quicker at responding to emails than I am at text.
This is true.
Creole, Shirley T, Catfish Weekly. What's up, Lyle? We got 70.
Yeah. Hey, Lyle. How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Hey, there's our good friend Crappy Day Fish on. Always great to see you. Mike Chavez. Mike put out a great video this week. Y'all go check that one out. Fish and Fever says, Nightbot, I hope you pee the bed.
Now, that sounds like something Brian B. would say.
Well, we've got a guest in the background, and this is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Epic?
Well, it could be epic. That's
it could
sure.
be. What's up, dude?
Oh, look at this. You know, I was so happy to just get home and see Stan on my phone. And I came in, and you know, it's just good to be here.
How you doing, man?
Actually, you know, mentally pretty good.
Mentally's good.
Pretty terrible.
I met a lot of mentally unstable people this week. It gets cold. People forget how to do things.
Yeah, you know, and here I am. You know, even almost a month later, and I got to keep my hand above my heart when I get home because it starts to swell up and get all angry and all that stuff.
And it's no fun.
Oh, geez, it's terrible. You know,
well, good to see you. Hey, what do you know about the ice bowl, man, down in Virginia? You ever fished that thing?
You know, I haven't. I do remember back in the day, though, chainsawing my way to the main channel through 1.5 foot of ice.
That was not one of your smarter moments.
No, actually, it was all in the interest of knowledge and science because really nobody back in those days, except for fishermen, was actually purporting you could even catch catfish, you know, in the winter. And so I just had to.
What year was that?
Figure this thing out about 1989.
80. I was gonna say 88, but I was
88, 89, or so.
Man, the 80s, man, they rocked, didn't you? You could really do some stuff.
There's so many stories I can't even tell on here about.
Yeah, we'll save that for afterwards.
Except for I will tell you that we used to skip school once we were, you know, juniors and seniors, and of course, we had empty, you know, milk gallons and 5-gallon cans of gas, and we had, you know, compound bows and reefer barrels, and we could light stuff on fire, and so we would skip school and like start gallons of gas on fire through the thing. Now they didn't have any tannerite back in those days.
Brilliant.
They did.
Man, if you don't know what, hey, it's epic. Let me stop you. If people don't know what tannerite is, go look that up. That's some crazy stuff, man.
That is kind of my favorite. But anyway, I have been banned. I've had a lot of videos taken down on both platforms through tannerite and other such unmentionables. But anyway, that's what we like. So just imagine one thing. We knew some old Vietnam vets that actually gave us the recipe to nitroglycerin and napalm. So imagine, did we do it or didn't we do it? Of course,
of course you did.
Of course we did.
What were you thinking?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
You know, Tim, rumor has it that it's a good thing we were not living close to each other back when we were younger because, you know, we were bad enough on our own. If we were together.
And that would be true, Stan. I promise you this. Matter of fact, it would be like epic times 10. There's no doubt.
Oh, man, those were the days back then. Mm-hmm. You know, of course, you could do stuff with gas. It was, what, 79 cents a gallon back then? It was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, back then, if you looked at it, gas, cigarettes, and milk was about the same. So, I mean, you know.
Fishing Fever says Daryl's favorite bait. Oh, wait, no, that's not bait.
Daryl's favorite bait. Awesome.
922 says, I make my own. Thank you, U.S. Army, for teaching me how to make it. There you go.
Yes.
BMX, mosh pits, trying to break dance.
Yep.
Oh, man. You got Shade Tree catfishing out there. What's up, Shade Tree? Great to see you.
And you know, this is kind of more on a serious note, but if you think about it, the government somehow thinks that pew-pews are the problem. Well, in 1985, every pickup truck in my entire high school had at least 3 of them in their truck.
Oh,
no
yeah.
one ever got pew-pewed down. So, you know, it is what it is.
We all have
dude, even when Stan 3 was in high school, and let's see, that would have been in the 2000s, but we lived in a pretty conservative upstate New York, in the middle of nowhere type. He would go hunting every morning before school and drive to school, and you know, the bows and the guns and everything were right there, and you know, that was that.
Stan, we had a kid that used to ride his bike to school every day, like 3 miles, and he had a 20 gauge strapped to the front of his bicycle because that's exactly what he did. There was another kid with a Marlin 22. There was holy moly! I mean, it was.
And I thought, hey, epic! And I thought I was cool just clipping the cards, you know, the deck cards with the clip on the spokes, and it was like flat when the wheel went around.
We had kids that had full-on assault bicycles. I mean, that's what it was.
Look at there. We got
cool.
Steve Douglas is in chat. He gets the award for comment of the night so far.
Oh, does
What's up, fellas? Besides a bunch of old dudes reminiscing about good old days.
Exactly.
Hey, isn't that Douglas dude? Isn't that guy that can't fish worth a lick? That's him. Is that him?
I didn't even hear that right.
I don't know about that.
That's our mottos. You can't fish worth a lick.
So yes, we are.
That's kind of like blasphemy in my world.
Oh yeah.
You just can't even say that about Steve Douglas, because when Steve Douglas comes in the room, it kind of the stuff comes out, it all shines in the fish bite.
That's right. There's an aha moment. Oh.
Yep. Angels start singing and stuff. Yeah.
Marlin 22. There you go.
Oh yeah. You know what? That was the AK-47 of its day. You could throw that thing in the mud. I know. I've seen Marlin 22s thrown right into Cooper's Defeat Creek, and they just never quit. They just keep going.
Uncle Jeep says after that, JG's going to be stopped and frisked at the door at CatCon.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here, boy?
We're gonna have to quit talking on them lines before you just get cut right off the internet.
It'll be all right.
I'm telling you, it's a little weird these days.
Well, it seems like Big Brother's always watching, and that's fine. We're going to talk about catfishing and have some fun. And if they don't like everything we say, then they can kiss our, you know what?
We'll just get right back to catfishing, because actually the algorithm does not care one bit about catfish. None.
But we do.
We do.
Well, you know what I've noticed? We've started doing a little dance here, and we say dance and jig. The algorithm picks that up, and man, we are put right out there. We are doing a little dance here on Friday Night Cat Chat, and they seem to love that. So we'll do the little dance and talk about some catfish. Yeah. And
it's called the Stans jig. We do that for the Stans members when they pop up.
Hey, you know what, Stan? We were talking about the 80s. Look at this. I have a literal 1985 Bradford Panthers, because I didn't wear it back in the day, but now I'm old and I'm kind of cold now. So I wear this, but this is like a literal 1987. One of those.
Nope. You just hit him.
Oh, just him. Just touch the screen,
and then it should give you the options.
Man, do nothing. Just touch the screen, and we're going to talk about his shirt again. Because I interrupted him. There you go.
Yeah,
Now tell me about this shirt again, Ed.
This is like a 1985 Bradford Panthers sweatshirt right here. You know, that I just drug out of the back 40 of my closet a couple years ago, and I actually wear it now. Because, you know, when you're young, you don't need a sweatshirt.
Huh.
No.
No.
The winter coat was a cut off flannel shirt.
Cut off, you know what? Here. I still have some of those. Oh yeah.
That's right. Right. But
I still wear some of those.
Since we got you here, catfishing. Let's talk. I mean, we do a little catfishing here.
Well, a little.
So, what's your opinion here? You know what I've been saying. I've been telling people to get out there because we've had a few days. We had such horrible weather across the country. I mean, I know you're up there in the frozen tundra, so y'all can just forget about it. Y'all don't got to go out until like May or June, whatever.
Right now, to catch catfish, I need like a 12-inch auger that run 3 foot. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not saying that, but I mean, we're getting flooding and we don't have any ice anymore. I'm kind of exaggerating, but I still have like 3 foot snow drifts in my driveway. So that'll all let you know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, for the rest of us, it was that horrible cold front. I mean, just across the country was pretty much every negative. When you talk of those negative bite conditions, it was from the pressure to the cold front to the boom, boom, boom. Well, it seemed like this past week, everything, all of them are now on the positive side of that bite.
Yeah.
And they've been positive for a couple days now. So I've been telling people, go. If you can go. That's what I've been saying.
And you'd be right, Stan, because remember, it's negative is only a negative when it's on the downslide with catfishing. Usually, if it's on the upside, it's usually kind of a positive, especially if it's been 3 days in a row, whether it be high water, medium water, low water, high temps, low temps, medium temps. You know, as long as you can get a stable situation and on the uptick, you can actually pull off a pretty decent bite.
Well, that's that was you know, it's all those things that like that I've tried to pick up in these past few years here, and all those little things. It's you know, when you first start out, you add one little thing and add another little thing, and that's the difference. There's Stan 3 out in chat. The professor is in, I see. There you go.
Yeah. So and for the record, I would have to say Marianne was the best. Ginger was a close second, but Marianne was pretty awesome.
That's right. Well, because Marianne could cook you dinner too. So.
No, she was. I'm not even going to go there, but yeah, that was kind of my favorite.
Oh man. So 70 awesome people out there. Thank you everybody for coming in. The professor can play b-ball. Oh, that's the other dude. You ever see the little?
Yep, I did. Yeah, and no, I cannot play basketball like that. No. That guy's pretty awesome.
You know, you're talking about old shows. There's a channel that I have discovered, and I don't watch very much television, but here lately, I've been trying to do stress relief without alcohol. So the alcohol is not part of being on call. So I don't drink alcohol while I'm on call. But I found this TV show or a channel. It's called Memory Entertainment Television. And it's showing all these old stuff like old MASH stuff, Adam 12. Anybody remember the old Adam 12? But I was thinking about with Gilligan's Island. I used to watch that as a child. And somebody was saying here 3 night or something, said, young guys, you should have been around in 74, 75. We were, dude. Excuse me. We were here rocking. But
we just try to talk about the 80s, 90s because more people can relate to that.
Yeah. We can go on back to the 60s, man, if you want to talk about that.
So, JG, I introduced both of my sons a long time ago to a show called the A-Team. And we were sitting on the riverbank in the spring, and my 7-year-old picks up a corn cob, puts it in his mouth, and he goes, after we had caught a couple of fish, couple of catfish, it was like early May, April, wasn't even leaves on the trees, puts it in his mouth, and he goes, love it when the plant comes together.
That's awesome, dude.
I think I died laughing for like a month every time I looked at it.
Yeah, I used to saying too. It just depends on what I've got. You know, if I've got some new fishing gear or something I'm starting, I'll go. I got my Mr. T starter kit going.
That's right. We save the beer drink until after we're done, Jeff.
That's right.
We're done.
Because I'm real at 9 o'clock. JG's going in the fridge.
We do believe in being a family show. That's right.
Yeah.
And if it is, it's in a red Solo cup.
And that's the red Solo cup. This may be water. It might not be water.
Mm-hmm. Inquiring minds need not
Mike
know.
Chavez says, I graduated high school in 75. Stan 3 was asking a question. And I'm going to say that current is always important. But he was asking a question of how important is the current? How important is the current with the colder water?
Depends on where you're at. If you're in the hard middle of the country where it's basically freezes the hardest, you want less current in the true winter. But if you're on the East Coast, you don't necessarily want to fixate on hard current like you do the hotter months, but it is less important to be in slow current because, as we all know, no current or dead current equals no or dead bite. Pretty much. I mean, it's very slow bite. Yeah, you'll have some that will come in, and they will come in and feed in that slow current because they're looking to ambush something. But most of the time, when you have rivers that have current available, you are going to say that they will stay in the current and be fed by the current. We also know that big blues and even flatheads, if the temperature is high enough for them to be not completely dormant, will take advantage because of where they want to be, bait fish intersecting where they live. So you don't really have to chase them. You just want to, in the winter, there's guys that want to cover water and they like to drag and they like to drift. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you have current available, you can generally pick them out.
And I think I think that dragging and drifting and that's these younger guys.
Yeah.
When young whippersnappers, they want to do everything really fast
and new, and whatever. Yeah, we're just kind of old and crotchety, but I would say this: if somebody could point me to anybody drifting and dragging catching bigger fish than what somebody does, I'd be like, okay, let's start to drift and drag. I've said it now for like 5 years, and I hope I'm proven wrong, because that'll get me to drift and drag and maybe even bump. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be the sky's gonna fall when epic catfish bump. I'll tell you that.
Tim, I think you might enjoy it. I think you might enjoy bumping.
I would. I'm sure I would, but you know me. I can't get off the science, and science says to me, keep doing what you do because it's paid off.
Absolutely.
It really has. So
hey, we got Bobcat Outdoors in the house right here. Epic. He's a really good bumper down on Tennessee.
He is probably one of the premier bumpers. There's no doubt. But
great bumper.
Yeah.
Well, and Tim, I'm going to give you my opinion on it, and you can go from there. I think that what happens is there's so many of us that haven't had the experience that you've had yet. So when we can go out there and we can find active 50s and 60s.
Yes, sir.
And, we can catch more of them by moving the baits around a lot.
Yeah.
We're happy with that because we haven't got tired of them yet.
Well, and literally kind of the truth of the matter, if you really want to get down to brass tacks, is that my population where I fish doesn't hold a candle as far as numbers as what the James has, as what the Tennessee has. It really doesn't. I mean, I might go 3 hours and not really mark more than about 15 decent fish. And I'm not marking, I've been on the Potomac, I've been on the James, I've been on the Tennessee. I've seen what the population is. And the Mississippi has great population more south than what is available to me in a 4 hours drive. I have a fairly thin population. So for me to drift, I'm going to drift. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it on here. I'm going to drift my cojones off and not even present baits to 3 or 4 or 5 fish. I could go miles and not really present much. So I'm literally kind of stuck going and moving and marking my 4 or 5 fish and then setting on them, because I could drift into them and out of them in the current so fast. I could drift into them and out of them so fast, except for certain times of year. And certain times of year being like September, October. But, August and before that, there's really not that many fish that I could like present baits to. When I've been on the Tennessee, at least there's lots of fish, or the James, at least there's lots of fish, even in like lesser areas of slower current that you could present baits to.
And that's a great point, Tim, because here, like our our electronics have been down, so we've been kind of fishing blind, so we haven't even been able to go out there and mark fish.
Yeah,
we've kind of had to go old school, and
you're still successful at it.
Well, yeah, because you got to know where the ledges are, and you know what channels you're putting the bait in and that stuff. But I think that but there is a fish population here. We've talked about that before with those 50s and that kind of stuff. And, there's Stand 3. It's if there's active fish and you're dragging baits, it's about pulling your baits across the dinner table. And, with the younger, and like we've talked about that before. When you were younger, you were kind of that, you had to get, to here and to there and do these other things. And I think the drifting and dragging is that kind of thing now. It is.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong, but my old ass is not doing it until somebody proves to me that stuff really works for like giants. Because I'm gonna. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I like used you remember the old weedless frogs that had like the wire thing that went up underneath?
Uh-huh.
You remember the weedless stuff with
it was like a wire loop that went under, and it was like a hard plastic.
I would still, even with bumping, and dragging weights and all, I would lose so much tackle. Oh my gosh, because it doesn't just go like this. It goes like this, and there's like a half a sunken ship here, and there's like giant rocks there, and then pretty soon you're into a root ball that's like 9 feet tall. And I'm like, you know what? I would just be retying, and I'm trying.
No rigs.
Yeah,
got no rigs left.
All done.
And Tim, I think that's a great point out there for people that when you're just getting started out in catfishing and fishing in general.
Yeah.
Most predator fish are not going to be in open, flat. They need structure. They need some things to ambush. They need current breaks. They need all this kind of stuff.
Unless the population is so big, they don't have a choice. See, that's the thing. I mean, when the population becomes thick per gallon of water, then they have to take advantage of like lesser spots. Try to take that. I heard something about Tim King has proven it to you. Goober time. Tim King has proved that he could catch a couple of really big fish dragging on a lake situation. What I'm saying is, if it works day in, day out, yeah, and trust me, with Tim King, I have put that into my memory bank. He's caught a couple of giant blues. But think about this. Tim King goes out almost every single day. I love Tim King. He's a friend of mine. But he goes out almost every single day. I don't. I go up 9 times a year. Whoa. 9, 10, 11 times a year. So, if ratio to ratio, if you're catching, 80s, 90s, 70s, that many 70s, 9, 10 times a year, I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I'll be like, okay, Sean, we're switching over to dragon. But whatever, well, and I'm not trying to be an old, what do they call us? Gen Xer. I'm not trying to be a Gen Xer or a boomer.
No, boomer.
I'm just saying a boomer. Yeah. Well, I'm not. My parents are boomers. I know. I've been called a boomer, I'm sure.
Yeah. If you were born in the 60s, you're a boomer. The next generation doesn't start until the 70s sometimes. So.
I'm like an old Gen Xer. So
there we go.
It just depends on what sweatshirt you wear for the day.
That's right. I'm wearing the 1985 Bradford Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm an Xer.
there's
that Cat and Crap Conference. Use code 2Stans for discount.
That's right. Get your tickets on a discount there. The link for the chat is up there. If you want to come up and ask Tim a question yourself, you're more than welcome to, or ask any of us a question. We have 67 awesome people out there.
That's awesome.
But yes, and that's Tim. That's something that I think that we've talked about before, and different tactics. You know, a lot of what works for some people is going to work differently, because for blues, most blues are native to the Mississippi River and that, so they are going to act a little differently in places that they've been introduced to, because it's different conditions, it's different water, it's different, and then you got different populations. So the more population.
All right.
Look who's calling who hard-headed. Look who's calling who hard-headed here. Come on.
Yeah. No, that would be true. I am pretty darn hard-headed. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I'm talking about Stan 3.
I know. I know.
He's about hard-headed.
Well, and but it's the same thing. What's worked for you, you get kind of, it's worked for me for how many years, so this is what I'm doing. Until somebody can prove to me that something else is going to work for that many years and that many fish.
Dan, it's called jaded. It's called I'm not doing nothing else until somebody proves it to me, blah blah blah. But you know what? We're all creatures of habit, and I only harass a few people, and that's the bumpers, the draggers, and the chicken users.
Well, that covers me.
The bumpers,
exactly.
The draggers, and the chicken users.
Yep. And I don't hack on them too bad.
Yeah.
I'm just old school.
That would be me.
What?
I could hear a song coming there.
But I'll still promote 1 pound squid. So what's the difference? Chicken or squid? Except for squid does live in the water. You'd have to.
Yeah.
I am trying to find some around here. I'm going to have to order it, or I'm going to have to go down to saltwater and pick some up down there. But I can't. There's none around here. Like people don't eat it here, so it's just not.
I used to have them in like the local Kroger's here, and they have been at for about the last 10 years. But I mean, I used to buy about a 10-pound box and only had 10 squid, so they're a pound a piece. You throw the tentacles, the eyeballs, the mantle, and everything out, and catch giants.
Wow!
Oh, I would believe it.
Yeah.
Bobcat says, I do other things. I just prefer bumping. Absolutely. And there's nothing. Go ahead.
You know what, Bobcat? I agree with that. You got to fish what you like the best, because really, at the end of the day, you have to be happy with what you're doing. I mean, if you're just staring at rods and you're a guy that just says, you know what, forget that. I need to move. I need to, work, and I need to whatever. Fine. If it keeps you going, I'm all for it. I just like hacking on people on a few things.
Well, and when you can, and that's kind of the reason. People ask, about big fish and that. Why does the biggest fish in the water do this, that? Because they can.
Because they can.
They can do whatever they want to do.
That is true. And you know what? I'm thankful people give me the leeway of being able to do that. They do give me the respect to saying every once in a while, oh, that bumping, just prove it, blah, blah, blah. And they usually don't say anything. Thank you for that, because, a lot of people can give me a bunch of grief over that. And I respect them, and I thank everybody for giving me a little bit of leeway to do a little bit of back in here.
Well, Tim, you've deserved it. You've deserved it. So
yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to 922's question here and bring this up. I want to try to help him with that.
There you go.
So 922 Krabby Barbecue had a question here. Lake has been low for months, now up 3 foot from the bank. Where would you set up first, shallow or deep channels? And 922. I'm sure Epic has his excellent.
Nope, this is your answer, buddy.
But my opinion is it depends on the temperature at 922. The temperature of the air and the water, and then if you're fishing in a lake, and where the wind's blowing from. If you're setting up on the bank, I've always liked to have the wind coming in towards the bank if you can. And then as far as water temperature goes, if the water temperature is up 60, 50, mid 50s, something like that, and you've got sun shining, then the bait fish are going to move up a little shallower. So it's got a lot to do with where the sun is in the sky. This has a lot to do with where your bait fish are moving. And if you're using avionics on your phone, you can kind of tell the depths of the water, where the ledges are, that kind of thing. But I would say, you go set up on the bank and then, I would start, try to find a ledge. You're talking about shallow or setting up deep. And it depends on the temperature and whether you have a lot of sun out. So that's my opinion on that. Didn't mean to get too winded, but maybe Epic can help you with that with his opinion as well.
Yeah, I do have an opinion, and it is called I concur.
That about covers that.
That's right.
There you go.
Red Solo Cup. Well, what's that song? How's that go? Can you sing it, Epic? Red Solo Cup. There's a party. How does that go? The song?
I got to tell you a story. My sister and my brother sing like angels. I sing like a water buffalo.
It's okay.
Red Solo Cup.
It's terrible.
I fill you up. It's time to party.
Yep.
See, my man Stan over there is can get her done.
That's right. That's right. I am the karaoke king.
He is the king. Stan the man. Tell him, Epic. Stan's the man.
Yeah, Stan is the man. There's no doubt about it. I've liked Stan since I think I watched his second live, and I was like, yeah, Stan's got something going on right there.
Yeah.
And so I think I was on his third live. But as far as you, JG, I've always been impressed with your common sense approach. You have a good manner, and you always pay attention and you validate people. I mean, you're a class act. So
thank you, sir. Appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you.
And look at Dale Hayslip. I think he was the second commenter on my very first video on YouTube ever, and he's still in here hard. I
hammered it out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Dale. This is some time ago, and he left a message on STANday. It's been I haven't missed one in 6 months, and I had something to do. And you know what? He's right. He hasn't, and so much appreciation to Dale. I can't tell you what it means to see those same names week after week and month after month and year after year. That really does for somebody like us that are trying to go out there and put this stuff up week after week after week, to see people keep coming back for that long. We can't tell you what that means. Rebel River Cats, Doug, that's another one. Guerrero.
Yeah. Look at Guerrero Bagra. He's been there since day one for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and when you're in that same kind of, we all have little different things, and you have, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have your own little, I tend to be a little more, boom, boom, bam, and all that kind of fun stuff, and hey, let's have a good time kind of thing. But everybody's gonna have but when it's time for serious and talking fishing and doing that, we're all kind of in that, and. I think people notice that and appreciate that, and everybody's going to have their own little separate things. But
and Stan, as you know, I often talk about what it is to be a catfish psycho or a catfish whatever. But you know what? That's kind of what the YouTube group, the catfish community, is to me in the best sense, because the best sense is that they're heartfelt in it. They're in it to win it. They're not. There's not a bunch of fly-by-nights. You see the same people in. They're in every night. They're in as much as they can on the weekends. They're in mine, yours. They're in everybody else's.
Right.
And, that tells me that they just love catfishing.
Hey Stan, we got a 15-second stand jig here for Mike Chavez.
Oh, awesome. You know what? Mike Chavez was there on day one video too. Oh, you got to do the dance.
Epic. Get it going, buddy. Thank you, Mike Chavez. Remember, banana.
The old school. I got to back up with the old school. The old school is, this, that, the other. Yeah.
Hey,
but no,
Mike Chavez.
Mike Chavez, he deserves it too. I mean, he.
Yeah,
does.
we had to pull Stan in. Stan gets carried away with Stan jig, and you have to pull him back, Epic.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
He gets carried away. We had to pull him back.
Yeah, I get a little carried away. I'm, hey, I'll go tear up a rug out there.
Yeah.
Don't let Stan put on his dancing shoes. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Hey, you get fish 400 pounds moving. It's hard to get me to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Well, and back to the lake question before, with rivers, you got, and Epic and I have talked about this a lot, and you hear Epic's, the current depth and structure, but when you have a lake, current's out of there, so you got depth, structure, and then you got the other variables, the temperature and season and blah 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 and all that stuff.
But you have to add bait fish in a lake. You got to add depth, cover, meaning sticks, logs, rocks, and then structure. But you also have to put in bait fish where you don't necessarily in a river, especially a faster moving river. Maybe a slow moving river like the Ohio or the James when it doesn't have much flow, when it's low, you might have to add bait fish in there. But yeah, you can substitute certain things in that equation. But a natural river, it is current first, cover second, depth third, according to time of year, and then there's plugins from that. But yeah.
And me with the math, being a mathlete. I kind of like equations.
Mathlete.
Epic, have you got memoirs to write and release a book?
As long as I don't lose my memory, I could write a book, and I could look in my old, which I'm not exactly sure where it is. I'd have to find it, but my old captain's logbook. Mm-hmm. I could, but generally speaking, at this point, I could still go back to probably 9 years old and tell you pretty much most, because it was the most important to me. Regular life wasn't all that important. It was the river, it was the chase, it was the this, it was the that. So within reason, I could still come up with it. Even things that really wouldn't pertain much to catfishing, I could still remember if they made an impression on me, and a lot of things did. And part of it was, I've explained on Stan Show a couple times. I had a professor in my first year of creative writing English. I had a professor that literally let me go off script and write about catfishing in a daily journal, and that was pretty huge for me. I mean, most people are writing about, what they ate for breakfast. I wasn't. I was writing about being neck deep below Sterling Rock Falls Dam, holding a rod up at 3 o'clock in the morning for flatheads, using, baits this big. As the city.
Oh, you were doing all that normal kid stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, normal kids.
Yeah, normal kids. What is normal?
Well, normal is boring to me.
But I was thinking about this because you were talking about this. You did the little plug-in thing, and then that's what brought that up to me. Was thinking that you could write a book. You could write a book, and you could talk about all these things. And do we want people to know all these things, or do we not? I think you have an argument with tournament anglers that, first of all, they don't want to be on camera because they don't want to show you where they're fishing.
True.
And then the second one is they really want you to learn the hard way of how to catch fish instead of us out here telling you to put a plug on there and drift or put a big 12-aught hook on there and fish for it.
JG, that is one thing I try to never do. I try to never say, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to fish.
It should be your idea.
It's all a choice. Everything's a choice. And I respect people that want to put, I don't care if it's marshmallows on and catch tiny channel cats or, fish for largemouth bass or, whatever.
I have a good analogy here, Epic. And this is for everything. So if you're trying to learn a musical instrument or you're trying to learn anything from whatever source it is that you're trying to do. So my analogy would be, if you're trying to learn a song and you go watch a YouTube channel and you learn how to play a drum solo, that's fine, but don't copy it. Just take the information that you're getting and make it your own. So I'm saying what Epic is saying is that to whatever ideas that he feeds you or Stan and I feed you, take the information and make it your own. Adapt it to your song or your situation is all I'm saying.
I have this feeling, JG, that some people look at my stuff and go, "Oh my God, I'm never doing that. I will never want to do that," and I hate it. But they'll watch. They'll be like, "I'm going to throw night crawlers in my local, small river off the bank and drink a bunch of beer." And you know what? I'm great with that because it's all good. All of it's good.
And y'all have heard me say this a bunch of times. It's not the size of the fish; it's the size of the excitement that it brings you.
That's right.
And that's it. As long as you're excited about being out there and catching fish, or just even being out there, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that,
but remember one thing, Stan, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be excited watching it. I'm sorry, but I have a certain amount of, expectation on what makes me excited. Now, can I be happy for people that are, catching a slew of, whatever? Yes, I can. But I'm not going to be like, woohoo! Let's
that's where the
conundrum
comes in with.
I know.
That's where the conundrum comes in with live, YouTube, social media fishing. Because some people some people just, they don't care about the fish. They care about the person. They care about that. It's the same thing. They like watching that excitement, and it doesn't matter if they're catching what size fish they're catching in that. And people are.
You know what, Stan? That just proves to me that I'm almost a boomer. I mean, I'm nearly boomed, and I just can't get over myself and my situation. And I was in love with all my time back then, and I just can't come into the future.
You're not alone, Tim. You're not alone.
Come on, Tim. I know you got to get that flip phone by now, man. Come on.
You know why? Because I dropped 2 of them in the river, and then I got my first whatever phone.
Smart
my smartphone. It wasn't very smart because it fell out of my pocket while I was retrieving an anchor. Fell in 30 foot of water.
Hey, but you need one of them chains. Like people put chains on their wallet. You need a chain on your
chain drive phone. You're right. Get the chain drive phone.
That's it, brother.
Mike Chavez said you're the Phil Robertson of the catfishing world.
That's funny.
Oh boy, yeah.
Man.
Or the Will Robinson trapped on another planet.
Uncle Jeep. I knew a normal once. Her name was Abby. Abby Normal.
Abby Normal. That's funny.
There's Heroes is out there. Heroes has been watching with us.
Oh yeah, he's the man. If you know Catfish Heroes, you will love Catfish Heroes. I mean that if you're a catfishman, I'm not saying everybody does, not like everybody doesn't like all of us, but
that's right.
Yeah, if you're a catfishman, you would love Sean. There's no doubt.
Nice.
That's right.
So there was something.
We got a newcomer in the house too. Been hanging out with us a couple of weeks. Fishhead Videos.
That's right. And Tim, that's something that we've talked about. Thank you for bringing up Ray there. Fishhead Videos. He did some bass fishing and all that other stuff.
Yep.
He's got 2 young sons, and he brings them out there, and they're in northern Florida, just getting into catfishing and stuff.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What a great place to be.
Yeah, and he's going live with it.
They've been doing the STANday with us on Sunday mornings, and
that's
you know what?
Awesome.
One of the first things that Tim told me was he can't wait for the journey. And man, has he been right? It's, when we first started, we thought we were kicking ass. We thought we're catching 20s every time out here. We are, woo, this is great. And then, Tim's like, yeah, just wait. The journey is coming. Wait. The journey's coming. And, now it's like, Stan 3 was out fishing today, and he didn't go live. He went out and got some bait and stuff. And I'm like, how'd you do? I only got about 5 or 6 20s.
Oh, poor you.
Yeah. And,
Hey, Nina Kylie crew in the house.
Did you get it on video? He's like, why would I video 20 pounders?
So I recently did a kind of a late night impromptu video on old TikTok because it only takes me 2 minutes to make one and submit it. So I pretty much said, if you get the idea that, epic catfish is spoiled, you'd be right. But I have climbed those stairs. I have done what's necessary to get me to where I'm at. And I've done it for a long time. I said, but remember, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. I mean, your giant fish might be only 30 pounds. They might be only 40 pounds. They might be only 20. Maybe you got 10-pound channel cats. That's what really matters. I mean, and really, whether you're happy with catching the bottom of the row, the medium, or the high row, it doesn't really matter. It's the experience that counts. Now, I didn't even say it that great on my video, but it really is. It's what it means to you. I really believe that, and some people think that, I'm kind of jaded on small fish, or I don't like small fish. Yeah, you'd be right about that too. But, that's just the place I'm in.
Well, when you've caught 222,000 of them, but guess what?
Yeah.
Stan, we got a stand jig for Nina. Nina, right. Remember, 22 months, we got a stand jig. Woo. Here we go, epic stand jig.
22 all right. Nina's kayak crew. Boom, boom, bam.
Hold it. I gotta see if my finger works.
Look at it go.
It doesn't work yet. I can't even. Here it is.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you. 22 months. Nina's kayak crew, member for 22
That's awesome, dude. 22 months. Is she up there with Freddie?
I don't know, dude. I don't know if she went with Freddie or not. And there's our lovely niece, Alana's catfish adventures.
Howdy, y'all.
Hello, Alana. That's Freddie and Nina's daughter there, Tim. Alana.
If there's a young girl out there with catfish in her name, that's just awesome right off the bat.
There you go.
Can't even beat it.
She may be a winner in this crowd.
And Tim, you were talking about Catfish Savage before. I don't know if you heard when you were there at the beginning or not, but today is my 34th wedding anniversary.
And you are on a catfish chat. Your wife,
I'm on a catfish chat.
I will drink. I will drink to D. Smithy right here. She's pretty different.
Thank you.
Now hold it.
Is that man sick or what?
I'm not trying to one up you, Stan, but my wife agreed to a 2-day catfishing trip on Santee Cooper during the last part of what? Our wedding, our what do you even call that?
The honeymoon.
The honeymoon. And yes, we were on Lake Moultrie at like November 7th, freezing our cojones off, catching 50-pound blues.
Nice.
Dragging, believe it or not.
That's what them guides do down there.
Yeah, they do. And I can see why
my dad's a guide down there. He's been down there for 28 years. His name's John Gary Hill.
Okay. If I was fishing there, I would probably do the same. It's just a big empty bowl. And I mean, you really have to just cover them and notice what you're doing on the fish find.
Speaking of that, CatCon last year, tell me that wasn't awesome. Well, maybe, I mean, it was more awesome for kind of the rest of us, I think, when we were just back at the hotel after CatCon.
Absolutely.
And everybody's sitting there, everybody's got a little adult beverage, some apple juice.
Yeah.
And we did the grilling. Yeah. And there's, we're talking about Santee Cooper. I forgot, this brain, I don't remember names as well as I used to.
It's okay, old man. I understand.
But there he was, Helms, right?
Yeah. When one of the pioneers off Santee Cooper was sitting there telling us about how he used to do stuff in the old day, that was impressive. And yes, I mean, I felt very honored to even be there and listen to what he was saying. Whether I agreed with all of it or not, I agreed with it at his time. I honestly did. I was honored. And you know what? I'm actually honored pretty much to hear stories from almost anybody who's good at their craft.
And the rest of us were kind of just sitting there like this.
Yeah. Yeah, and wasn't it Kevin that brought him?
Yeah. KT Helms, KC Helms, Casey Helms.
I think so.
And he was talking about how he started, the whole process about coming up with the dragon rigs, and because City Cooper
and they had to change the tournament rules. Calling him.
KG can't get that word tournament out of his mouth.
I've had a really long week, and I'm just trying to get hold of something. Don't pay us no attention there, but we're crazy.
But that was pretty cool hearing him say why they did it and what they went with first, and they tried that next thing and that next thing. And if you have a unique situation in your area, don't be afraid to try something different. We talk about those tried and true things because that's what works for us. But don't be afraid to, if you think something, try it. If especially now, here's where we go to that thing. Tim says, Tim's got like those 9 or 10 hard days where he can go out there and fish. So he's got to go out there and do what works. It's kind of hard to go out there now in his situation. But you're able to go out there fishing 2 or 3 times a week, 10 times, 10, 12 times a month. Hey, and you see something in your area is working a little different, or you find fish in a different area and they're consistently there where they shouldn't be, or something work with it, go with it, try to figure it out.
Yeah. There was a time in my life, somebody that I thought knew, if I thought they actually knew, and they told me to use green onion stems, I'd have been right there to buy green onion stems.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it wouldn't have mattered if I had to use live chickens, or whatever,
right.
or dance in the moonlight in a circle and then throw your baits over your shoulder. I'd have been like, well, I don't know about that, but I'm going to try up just about anything because I wanted it that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Hey, Stan, looks like Jody's over there fishing. You going over there this evening?
I might pop in.
Got you, but you're not dedicated, huh?
I'm not dedicated tonight. No.
Okay, got you. But
yep, she's live over there. Dominic Hollis still with us.
What up, Dominic?
922. There's Catfish Fever and Outdoors. There's Lynn out there.
Lynn's been traveling. He was going down to Chattanooga, and he's been sharing the adventure on his channel.
Oh, there you go. Uncle Jeep said that was the best barbecue ever. That's right. Oh, even Uncle Jeep was live on Friday night with us at that barbecue last year at CatCon.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
I really hope to make it to CatCon, but if I don't make it, I apologize, because I'd really like to make it, but I am so covered up with orders because I pretty much have been on impulse power for about a month building my orders, and they're stacking up something horrible. And it's Connor's back in school. He's been back in school for a while, and it's pretty rough. And with the made to order furniture, you have a certain lead time, and if you break that, it's pretty bad.
And you got 1.5 hands, and it's just
actually it's more like one. This half doesn't work very
well.
Good.
Come on, Tim, you're epic. So I know I know that you're.
I went back to work, but you'd be surprised how much that first finger matters in everything you do.
Oh yeah.
I know y'all can't see that, but I spliced the nerve over here, and I had no feeling in this hole. And they said, if it was any other finger, we wouldn't worry about it. But since it's that, that hole, that section there controls everything. Like, we're going to go ahead and do that surgery. And it took Tim, and that was just a razor blade in through the nerve.
Yeah.
And they had to do that. And it was a year. I still have issues.
I still have one nerve that is still hanging out the skin. Thing. It's like on it's like into the bare wind still.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really seated down. And they took the stitches out about 3 days ago, and it went from thing like this to now it's like 1/2 inch wide. It's absolutely a mess. Now it's all red and inflamed. Look at that compared to the rest.
Yeah.
It's all red and inflamed. There's the cut line, and it's so I have to go in 2 days to
Boy, you definitely were that close to having some extra catfish bait there.
Oh, it looked like I picked it out of a mud puddle, and like
Sure.
Wow.
it was bad. It looked like it looked like a White Walker's finger or something off of Walking Dead. I'm telling you, it was bad. And I wasn't sure, but I did know this. You know, even on morphine, even as they were wheeling me into that room, I told that surgeon, I said, if this thing doesn't make it, because you got to sign a form, what they might do, they might just cut it off. I said, save it. I want it because I'm catching a catfish on it. They didn't know what to think. They were like, what? I'm like, I'm doing it no matter what. So, you know, just save it for me. Throw it in some alcohol. We're doing it. You know, and I would say I'm not disappointed, but I kind of was a little. I was like, that would be like, that'd be kind of.
Hey,
epic.
this is the part. Hey, Epic, this is the part where you get the gong, man.
Yeah, I know. It's a little gong, but yeah, I mean, you got to admit though. I mean, if deep down in your mind you are thinking, okay, I'm going to lose this, but yet I want to do something, you know, that I'm going to remember forever.
Hey.
Yeah, it's a little deep. It's a little rough.
It seems like a good idea.
But
I'm glad you have your finger, man.
It's a great
literally
idea.
caught a catfish on their own finger. Like nobody. How many people can say that?
It's epic. It's epic. What else can you say?
Yes, and you know what? I wouldn't even. I would just be happy to do it myself because you know, catfish is a part of me, and it always has been. So you know,
there you go.
There you go, man.
You know, I'm not saying I would cut a live one off to do it, but you know, if I have to lose one, okay. Now that's true catfish savagery right there. If you're just willing to like lop one off and then go catch one, now that is a little crazy.
Hey, yeah, I might do a pinky. I don't know about my index, but the pinky.
I know the index finger is a little bit important. Yeah.
Oh, so Stan 3 is saying, so do you think the finger would be better bait, fresh or frozen?
Definitely fresh, Stan 3. Definitely fresh. The more blood, the better. A little bit of lymph, a little bit of this, or a little bit of that. Yep. And as a matter of fact, if the nervous system was still pulsing, it would be even better because then it sends electrical signals for about 6 hours. And I'll tell you how I know this because bait fisher are somewhat the same way. And the first hospital I went to, they messed around for almost 6 hours, and then they had to life flight me and my finger because it was about ready to be done for, and you could never save it.
Uncle Jeep says, and Shade Tree says, there's bad, and then there's catching a catfish on your own finger bad.
That's right.
Uncle Jeep says, okay, we're out of bait.
All right.
What? Okay. All right, we're good for another half hour.
You know, Uncle Jeep, even I'm not that bad.
Oh, man, you got to love Jeep, man. He come up with stuff, boy.
You got 4 monsters marked right below you. You never know.
We're good for another 30 minutes. Yeah.
Well, with that
that hotel room's expensive, man. We need fish another 30 minutes.
That's right. You got to make it worth it. We got any other questions or anything out in chat? Because we're going to be jumping out of here in a minute.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you for popping up tonight. Great. I know people are glad to hear from you. And, you know, JG brought up the thing about your book and stuff. I know you do a lot, excuse me, over on TikTok, the Captain's Journal things over there. You know, go check that out. If people are wanting to see some of those things, your stories over there. And again, it's because, you know, it's so easy to drop something there along those lines. But you don't have to like TikTok. You can just go over there, watch just Tim, and watch Epic Catfish on TikTok. There you go.
You know, I do drop some stuff on YouTube once in a while, but it gets like no views because, you know, I can't constantly do it. You know, and I'm not dissing YouTube. It's just I just don't have the time to, you know, put out the kind of content I would really like to. And, you know, with the old TikTok, I can do it, you know, before coffee in the morning and just hit send. You know, I just
makes a difference.
Be able to do it. Does. And trust me, if the shorts were as easy on YouTube as they are on TikTok, I'd be doing it. Not because I'm lazy, it's because I don't have the time anymore.
Right.
But you don't have to explain yourself.
Well,
absolutely.
I feel kind of bad for, you know, not supporting YouTube with a bunch of videos and stuff, because there's great people on YouTube. I mean, shoot, they're in chat right now.
Well, we appreciate the time that you do come over here and spend live with us, and
I love it, Stan. You know that. I'm the first one. I'm like the kid in the front row. I'm in the front row kid. I'm the front row kid that raises his hand every single time. And I'm like, me.
Yeah. Hey, Stan, Epic's like your grandpa out in the front row when you're playing music, going, "That's my boy, rock on."
Well, you want to hear something funny? I was I think it was actually at Kansas City. I think it was the Kansas City CatCon though, Tim, where I got to sit. Sean and I were sitting there, and we're kind of both like, oh. And then after the show, like there was obviously a lot of people that wanted to talk to you and stuff, and we were kind of there picking up the light questions for you, and to hear him.
That was awesome.
To hear him, and then I was able to fill in here and there.
Yes, sir.
That was like one of those memories to remember for a while. Like you said, Sean's awesome.
And you know what, Stan? I am thrilled you guys did that. It's one of my. It's a good memory. And as far as you answering questions for me, and Sean answered questions for me, I felt very comfortable with that. I didn't even have to bat an eye. Didn't even have to give it a second look. I was just like, "Yep, they got it handled."
Well, and there you go. And if you ever get a chance to hear a Tim Scott seminar, do it, because there will be sinkers flying. There will be poles casted. There will be. I've got the monster catfish, the monster flathead over here. I try to keep things changing up. I got the 2Stans fishing flag here that we have some of those in.
That's awesome.
But I've got the flathead sitting right over here. So you've got props. You've got that stone wall that you built to talk about reverse current. And, people can talk about things, but when you've actually got monster flatheads and you're casting rods at walls and stuff, and, you've got the stuff like that to actually show it, people can actually pick it up a lot better. And you were the only standing ovation that I've seen at catfish seminars before. So,
wow.
And I'm so thankful for that. You guys are awesome. I mean, there was people that I was looking forward to meet there. There was people that were, I mean, it's going to hurt my heart if I have to miss CatCon this year. I'm going to tell you that, because that's the best thing I've ever went to.
It was awesome.
It really is. And I know next time will be the best thing I ever missed, if I have to miss it. And so,
but the great thing about that is there's always next year.
That's true. Hopefully, if I make it that far.
Oh, damn. I got a feeling
you will,
brother.
Yeah. Well, all right.
With that being said, all you dedicated catfish savages out there, thank you. All 30 of you that hung out with us to the end here. Jody's live over there on her show. We're going to jump out of here. JG, anything you'd like to add before we get out of here today?
Hey, I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a great week. Hey, don't forget, keep up with our boys down there at the Ice Bowl tomorrow. They're down there. We got Chad and Freddie out there fishing. We're going to be pulling for them for sure. And y'all go have some fun over there at Jody's and have a great weekend. And I hope life is good. We'll
be looking for y'all. We'll be looking for y'all on STANday morning. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. I think there's going to be some monsters caught. There may even be some donkey baits used this weekend. Who knows?
Yeah, Epic, you hang out with us. We're going to jump out of here. Hey, okay. Stan, tell them bye. We'll see them Sunday.
We'll see you Sunday morning. Deuces.